To YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, we say Barak YAHAWAH, Barak YAHAWASHI, Barak YAHAWAH, Barak YAHAWASHI, Barak YAHAWAH, Barak YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM HaKodash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which apostle is a great millstone, which feeds us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHAM YAHAWASHI. Let's jump into it. 2026, year of apostates, sellouts, and spies. Just jumping into it quick. I'm in traffic. We got this damn weather. But this right here is also a culmination of Esau losing, man. All right, he's getting struck with unnatural weather occurrences. They have this huge protest in Minnesota right now. That's why it says, shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord has not done it. Okay, so that situation, psyop or not, is being used to, because now Esau has nowhere to turn for real. I did that video that the wicked's back is in the corner. Okay, because now the people that he thought was helping him out in his coming up is now pretty much, they're turning Babylon to a police state. Why is that? Because you have the coming war and the skirmish that's gonna what? That's gonna put Esau into a uncomfortable situation. All right, he's not gonna know what to do when these things really take off, because he has lived comfortably. Now it's getting uncomfortable for him, and that's going into what the pandemic really started that off. All right, hey, shalom to those that are watching. The pandemic really started that off, because Esau's never lived that uncomfortable. He's never been told what to do in his own land. Okay, because the Lord, and how do we codify that? Because in the time of Jeroboam and Rehoboam, the nation of Israel was being done in by their rulership, by their rulers. Okay, you had Jeroboam, you had Rehoboam, you had the taxing, then you had the idolatry that was going on from both ends. So Israel was going through it internally. So what makes a difference now? So Esau's going through it internally. He's having an internal skirmish, an internal, what is it called? An internal chaos. All right, that's where you have the left, the right, which is the same wings on the same bird. Okay, there is no left and right. It's just it's just the elites, and they're taking away ownership of land. That's why it says you shall own nothing and be happy. You don't even own your solidarity of your children. You don't own your body for real, because you don't get to dictate what you eat. Esau tells you what to eat. You have to eat his GMO. People barely have farms, and if you do have a farm, it's regulated. You have to do certain things and meet certain criteria for your farm to be yours, or they can seize your property. So you really don't have no autonomy. You don't have no independence when it comes to even your diet. Okay, we got to go to that's by contra. That's why Walmart's took away mom and pop stores. Okay, the Amish, it took away that grow your own food, and people grew their own food. People made their own clothes, because now they force us to break the law by wearing mixed fabric. Then you got these guys talking about the law. The law. How you gonna glorify the law where you're breaking it? You got mixed fabric on. You're sitting in your house with your woman on her period. The guys don't go into, because then they can justify their supremacy. And that's what was going on in the time of Yahawashi. The wicked Sadducees and Pharisees, they were trying to pretty much hang a weight on men's shoulders that they didn't carry themselves. So that's the time we had now. Esau is going to do an internal struggle, and it's going to get worse, because this is, says in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, it says they shall not regard their kings. And they're in regarding Trump. They're not regarding Nero right now. Because he's looking terrible, man. All right, Lord willing, here in a little bit, I'm gonna do a video about the Hegelian dialect that's happening. And you got these conspiracy theorists, these guys that are analysts, and they're telling you that, look, this is being set up. The guy's being puppeted. He's being moved. They had this peace council where the people on the council were the ones helping destroy Gaza. Now they're a part of the peace council to rebuild there, because they're taking the Lord's land into their possessions, just like the scriptures say. What is you to do with the Most High, man? You break his laws, you take advantage of the world, you increase that which is not yours, and you claim to be God's people. That's coming to an end, man. All right, and the rise of the elect is happening on an internal level. And Jake, you have to watch your internal battle. That's why even the Lord told us, he says that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So it's not about your knowing the precepts, of course, knowing breakdowns, of course. All these things are highly important when it comes to this knowledge. But if you skip out on your mental front line, then you losing the battle. Because a lot of these guys, even the guys that fell out, going back to Alizé and all them other dudes, man, it looked good on the outside. That's why they had a lot of people following them. It looked good on the outside, but when it came to that mental war, that internal battle with different things, they were losing. All right, they were losing that battle. And that's what you see taking place now with the rise of the elect. You have to watch your internal battle as well as the outside battle. That outside battle is more than important, but the internal battle, that's where the real winning is at, because Yahawashi said the kingdom of heaven is within you. All right, so if it's within you, that means that your mindset has to be concentrated on the kingdom of heaven, which is what? Having a mindset of faith. It's not just saying you have faith. Have a mindset of faith. Faith comes with more than just a word. It's having a mindset and a mentality to go through the things that we're getting ready to go through. Yeah, we're not going to be able to eat like we eat now and go to the stores like we eat now. But hey, as long as you don't take that mark, it's okay. It really doesn't fucking matter. As long as you don't take that thing, that's the main thing that matters. That's the main thing that counts. And we waiting on it, man. We waiting on this mark to come, because it's going to try our faith. It's going to increase our faith, and it's going to give us that push across the finish line, man. All right. The time we are now is hold fast, keep prayer, maintain. I'm gonna get this Hegelian dialect. I actually seen a sign yesterday. I'm gonna post a video, but the Lord showed me a beam of light coming up from the ground, coming up. It wasn't coming down. I mean, it could have been shining down, but the way that it looked like it was coming up from the earth into the sky. So I even had to stop and I asked my neighbor, I said, hey, you see that in the sky? And she looked and she was like, yeah, I see it. I was like, you ever seen anything like that? She was like, nah, I never seen nothing like that. You know, so I had to confirm it just to see that, like, damn, I'm seeing this. You know, it's a beautiful picture. I'll try to go through a little sit down, make it into a short, however the spirit allow. But Yahawashim Yashar Barakatham, Bashim Hakwadash, we're in a beautiful time. The wicked is falling and the righteous is rising. Shalom.